Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pixel Junkies podcast, episode 189. It is December 6th, 2018.
This is 7.
December
it's my
7th.
fault. That's my fault. I made that.
If you put it in the
also the
list,
10th.
I will read it.
Oh, yeah, it is more. I know it's the 7th because it's my sister's birthday and also the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. Ripperoni.
Never forget.
Yeah.
I saw somebody posted a meme today where they said the First Lady of Japan makes a surprise visit to Pearl Harbor, and somebody said the Japanese are seemingly
Did
pretty
they do that already?
pretty okay on the idea of making surprise visits to Pearl Harbor.
Oh, haha. Yeah, looks like the gun
Yeah,
has
we-
iron sights to me. I'm Aaron.
I'm Rory. That's Andrew. I'm Rory.
Yeah,
And I'm Adam.
So
Last but not least,
Aaron. Anyway, what happened this week, boys?
So the big thing that happened this week was Bethesda decided to fix their
Oh.
canvas bag issue. We talked about it last week, where they said there was a mass canvas shortage and they just couldn't get canvas bags. They've decided that in fact wasn't true, and they're going to get people canvas bags, except the support tickets that people filled out to get the canvas bags went to other customers. Which is not good, because the support tickets had sort of some variable degree of information, as I understand it. Like, it's whatever you put on your ticket. So, oftentimes, names, addresses...
Don't forget credit cards.
Yeah,
right. I did this. It requires you to provide proof of purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta take a picture of your receipt with your information on it.
Yes.
So whatever's on that receipt is going to other people.
But is also whatever else you put in there, right? Because can't you include additional information if you want? Like say, hey, here's my card number or something. Like, if you're really, like we don't know what people put in these things, you know what I mean? But they assume that whatever they're putting in them is just going to Bethesda and not to people who buy Bethesda games. So this is regrettable. I don't know how many atoms they're going to give as a...
Probably
It's
like
just
7.
one problem after the other for these guys.
It really is.
Before we
Remember all
get too
that
far
goodwill
into
they
it,
had?
I was just going to say we should probably mention we're playing Counter-Strike Black Site or whatever the hell it is, their new Battle Royale mode, if you don't know what the fuck this is, because I don't know either. But there you go.
It's called Danger Zone.
All right.
Now, I
It says
could
that
be
on the
wrong.
screen also.
I could be wrong, but Aaron, is this your first time playing CSGO?
No.
I was wrong.
Oh, okay, I died instantly. Is that
I'm
it? Is
surprised.
it
I
over
didn't
now?
think you would have played CS:GO before.
Wow, sweet. That's a fun. Oh, okay. Right. No, I've played it I don't play it competitively. I don't really give a fuck about multiplayer games. Or this game in particular because it doesn't have iron sights. Because Gabe thought that was a great idea back in 1998 or whenever. I played some of this with bots and stuff, and a little bit with Andrew and Dave back in the day. But yeah, I kind of moved on when games got better than this. You know. Not particularly CS:GO, but like Counter-Strike in general. So, but I have played this, yes. Anyway, what else? What were you talking about? Goodwill? Bethesda had Goodwill?
Well, I was going to say all the goodwill that Bethesda had built up over the years of being a pretty good game developer and having a pretty good relationship with their community. A lot of that has gone away because of how they've handled Fallout 76. It seems. So, you know,
But
I mean,
at least
some
their
of the stuff.
launcher works really well.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate Andrew. I just saw the second topic on the list. The and,
I guess who's not getting Rage 2?
So Rage 2 is
God.
exclusive to the Bethesda launcher.
Yeah, good luck getting
Right now
refunds
it
on that.
More info may come out later that will be like, oh, actually, we were wrong because nobody's buying it. But right now, it is exclusive. It's the only place you can buy it digitally on PC.
I mean, let's just be real about it. Rage 2 isn't exactly a game that sells itself. You got to get out there and be convenient for people to buy, you know what I mean? Get on Steam, get on everything you can get on if you want people to actually buy it. So start off, open it up with a 50% off sale. Like, that's, like...
Did you know that Donald Trump's brother is on the board of directors of ZeniMax?
Good.
He is not his brother, though.
What?
Like, Donald Trump is not his brother. His brothers might be a half decent person. Sorry.
Did you know? I'm sorry. I tried to look it up on Wikipedia to see who Donald Trump's brother is on Wikipedia. It's.
I mean, you probably heard what Rory said, whoever's listening to this, but we can't because the Discord is being awesome tonight.
Can you guys not hear me?
I mean, we can, but you're cutting out. But anyway, carry on.
Okay. So I looked it up on Wikipedia to find out who Donald Trump's brother is. Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. And his father is this guy, Fred Trump, whose middle name is Christ. I'm not kidding. The Frederick Christ Trump. That's a real person.
All right, good night, everyone.
Oh, man.
That's an unfortunate name. Should have went with him.
Wow, that makes me want to kill myself. But you know what? Suicide isn't always the answer, but sometimes it is. Maybe I could join up with a series of people that are also suicidal.
So here we go.
We could form some sort of suicide squad.
Oh.
So if you follow the podcast to any real degree, we all have some movie that everyone else in the group hates, or at least one other person in the group hates to some like significant, sizable degree. For years now, since the podcast started, me and Adam have defended The Amazing Spider-Man 2 against the onslaught of hate.
You're both terribly wrong.
Yeah, it's dog shit.
And it's been my privilege to throw my support behind Suicide Squad for all these years.
Until now.
But I wanted to rewatch it, and I wanted to rewatch it because, you know, I have a lot more information. I saw it when it came out in theaters, right? I didn't have a lot of information about it. And I wanted to rewatch it with the criticisms in mind. So one of the things I did is I went on to watch the Pixel Junkies podcast because Adam reviewed it, right? Back when it came out, Adam also saw it in theater. And I wanted to watch it. Since I knew Adam didn't like it, I wanted to watch it with Adam's criticisms in mind and try to, like, view it from his perspective.
You're making me sound like some sort of, like, excellent, like, critique and reviewer, and I'm really not. But
well,
it's
not so much that as it's because, like, you know, I know you and we're familiar with each other's opinions, so I knew I'd try to get it, like, sort of into your headspace a little bit. So I watched it, and I want to talk to Adam in particular a little bit about it. So there's a couple problems with it that I didn't have the first time I watched it. One of the big things is that one of the best scenes in the movie is near the beginning. Andrew, I believe you've also seen the movie?
I have.
Yeah. So when Amanda Waller is proposing the Suicide Squad at, like, the dinner table and they're introducing the members, that's actually, in my opinion, that's one of the better scenes in the movie. And, like, part of that is that Viola Davis is a really good actress, and she brings that character to life in that scene. But
that's the part where they have like 37 songs in the montage.
Yeah. Where they're swapping between all the songs. Yeah. And so one of the things is that two people are sort of brought onto the Suicide Squad later in the film that weren't in that sort of proposal scene, and that's a lot more jarring on the second watch than I expected it to be. They don't introduce this Slipknot character, who of course sort of gets his head blown off very early on in the film, and they don't talk about Katana at all, right?
I mean, she's not really part of the squad though, because she's not a bad guy.
So that's true. She's not a part of the squad, but she's still someone they asked to help. And you mentioned in your review, Adam, that. You said, well, one of the things I don't like is that if you took Katana out of the film, nothing changes. I think you're right, but I think I don't think you've taken it quite far enough. I don't think Katana should be in the movie at all. I don't think she suits the character of Katana has never been in the Suicide Squad in any of its iterations, and isn't. Like, there's interesting stories with Katana, but none of them have anything to do with interesting Suicide Squad stories, so I don't know why she's there, other than that she is a DC character. And that kind of throws me off. And the other thing, the problem I had with it the first time I watched it, which is that the villain is unfitting for this particular iteration of the Suicide Squad, is that problem doesn't get any better on rewatch, right? Like
No.
that doesn't sort of go away. It's very hard to write off in your head as you're watching it, especially since you know what's going to happen.
Like, honestly, the idea of, like, the Suicide Squad taking down, like, a fellow or, like, a former agent that went rogue as, like, a kind of, like, you know, like, the first, like, they realized partway through the movie that they're the second Suicide Squad, and the first Suicide Squad, like, attempt went rogue, and now they gotta clean up the mess. There's a good movie in there,
I
but
agree,
honestly,
100%.
like, Assault on Arkham had a pretty cool premise for a movie, which is the Joker has a dirty bomb somewhere in Gotham, and the government sends in these guys to take him out. Because that gives you a reason to have Harley Quinn in the movie. Because in Assault on Arkham, they're literally, like, I think Deadshot, who's the leader of the team, says, "I don't want Harley Quinn on my team. She's too unpredictable." And Amanda Waller says something to the effect of, "Well, besides Batman, she's the one who knows the Joker best, so you're having her on your team regardless."
Yeah, I agree, 100%, 100%. I agree, and I would say, Assault on Arkham has a good plot for this. Now, with that being said, those are, in my opinion, the major cons. I do say, even though I agree with you, Adam, that they changed substantially the Joker-Harley Quinn relationship, I think that change is of minimal utility because even though he's characterized in this as being far more caring for her than he is in basically any other iteration I'm familiar with, and I want to say that characterization is also inconsistent and doesn't hold throughout the entire movie. Even though that you could still have that and still explore the fact that she's in a highly abusive relationship. Like, you could still explore that angle of her character. So I don't think it's a sort of, like, maximally effective change. So I think they could still sort of go forward with that same characterization and still explore into interesting things with the character. And I gotta say, go ahead.
They could, but my issue, or at least, again, I can't remember exactly what I said during that review, but I remember, thinking about it later on and thinking, like, you are correct, but the problem is that that's such a unique relationship in comic books, for, to have an abusive relationship, and many modern writers of Harley Quinn have really taken that aspect of a relationship that was only really hinted at in Batman the Animated Series, which is where the character was created, and really kind of have made that a major part of her characterization.
I agree.
And I don't think if you were to have that in this movie, I think it would detract from the plot, but at the same time it would be nice to see hints of it because it sets up Harley Quinn as a much more broken character.
Yeah, I agree.
Which
and
ultimately she is.
Yeah, but I think they could explore that. I think they still have an opportunity to explore that.
Yes.
Like I don't think this movie has set it back so that it couldn't. You know what I mean?
No, but what I am saying is I felt like it could have added some better, like, more depth to the character of Harley Quinn and the Joker in this movie that we didn't get, because a lot of the characters in this movie feel very flat.
I agree. I think that should have been changed. I gotta say, though, all in all, after all its cons, I still enjoyed it on the second watch. The things that I liked about it the first time, the pacing, the sort of, like, movie experiential things, if you will, like the way the movie flowed, the way it introduced itself, and in particular, one of my main criticisms of Justice League, a movie I actually think is pretty good, was that it didn't carve its own identity as a superhero movie and its own tone. Like, Justice League feels very much like a Marvel film, and I don't want DC to make Marvel films, I want them to make DC movies. This movie definitely doesn't feel like that way. I like the identity it carves. I actually really enjoyed the humor on the second time around. And yeah, so all in all, I still like Suicide Squad, but it has more flaws than I picked up on the first time.
Yes. I might I might do a thing at some point in the future where I kind of script doctor that movie and kind of come up, like, because I have, like, a couple of ideas for, like, a pitch in my head that might, like, fix some of the problems I have with the movie. But I do want to watch it again, and because it's been 2 years since I've watched it, and I can't really remember all that much from the movie, so I wouldn't mind watching it again and kind of seeing if my issues hold up, because I remember watching Spider-Man 2 in theaters, Amazing Spider-Man 2, hating it in theaters, and then I watched it at home, and I said, actually, this is a lot better than I remember it.
Yeah.
But are you drunk and or high when you watch it?
No, because it's a good movie.
Oh.
I like it too. I was gonna say Jordan likes it too, but
Jordan likes fucking everything.
a trailer dropped. Speaking of Marvel movies, a trailer dropped for Avengers Endgame, and for a trailer, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
We got some really interesting stuff here. So it shows at least, Tony Stark. Like, the trailer begins with Tony Stark on either the Guardians of the Galaxy ship or some other ship, drifting in space, apparently unable to get home, basically leaving like a final goodbye to Pepper, and I don't know where Nebula is, but she's probably on the ship as well.
She showed up later in the trailer at some point, didn't she? I thought there was
but I don't know if she's on the ship with him in that scene.
Yeah, I think they do a very deliberate cutting together of this trailer to not show the characters together. It seems like apart from Black Widow and Captain America.
Yeah, so then we see, and then we get some more story details, or at least the fact that the Avengers are kind of assembling back together to make like one last ditch effort to get the Infinity Glove from Thanos so they can correct everything that he did. Which, I mean, that was obviously going to be the plan the entire time. Like, that's not a surprise. What is a surprise for me in the trailer is we're getting some very interesting direction for some of the characters. So, Hawkeye is in the trailer. They reveal him. He did not die in Infinity War, which was really cool. But he has now taken over the persona of Ronin, which was first used by him in the 2005 or 2004 edition of Avengers, where he was on the team as like a secret. I won't get into the whole thing, but it was a persona that he had in order to get close to the Silver. Who are the guys who are after Wolverine? The Silver Samurai and his band, essentially. It was very complicated, but it's basically just an alternate persona of Hawkeye. And we also got to see Scott Lang.
Yes, that's true.
He can't. Somehow he managed to get out of the Space Between Worlds.
I thought that was a weird include, actually. In particular, I was like, oh, they're just gonna put him in the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I think he's gonna. I hope he saves the day. Like, I hope he becomes the one that, wins.
Yeah.
Wins.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
I hope it's not just Captain Marvel swooping in from the sky and like immediately killing Thanos and being like, I'm better than everybody.
Well, Captain Marvel can't do that because she's not powerful enough.
I would hope that
Marvel, not in the comics.
I would hope that most of them play a decent enough role, like a significant, not like the I'm gonna punch Thanos in the face and kill him role, but like they all play something vital to fixing it. Not just like I followed Captain America, I did my part.
So,
speaking of good actors, we've got Leah Seydoux returning in returning in Bond 25.
Sweet.
Yeah. Terrific. Terrific actress. I could take her leave. Another Bond film. Truthfully,
well, I mean, they're gonna make one, Rory. So.
Will she be the first returning Bond girl?
Maybe. I don't know. I can't think of any anyway.
I can't. Yeah. I can't either.
I mean, it makes sense though, because at the end of Spectre, he drives off with her. So it's like, where the fuck did she go for the next one?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
I think there was one during the Sean Connery era, and she like dies within the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Oh.
This director, right, is the same director who did the True Detective. So I'm excited to see him work on a Bond project, if sort of nothing else.
I'm also curious as to what they're gonna do with this movie. Cause like,
yeah, me too.
Who did Leah Seydoux play in Grand Budapest, Rory?
Oh, she was very briefly in the movie. You probably don't remember her character.
Was she even in that?
Yeah. Like for like a couple seconds, she was in the movie. but like not enough that you would have remarked. But if you watch it again, you'll probably see it, right?
Well, what part was
knowing
she
who
in?
she is. She's like a how you say, like a like a hotel worker.
Oh, okay.
She's just like someone who works in the
Kind of
hotel.
throwaway.
Yeah. It's a cameo. It's a cameo, right? So
Speaking of changes to online economies,
yeah,
Aaron, how is Red Dead Online doing?
Pretty much the same as it was.
That's good. Because
Yeah,
it wasn't horrible or anything before.
Yeah, no, I'll get into that. This fucking CSGO game mode is dog shit.
what game mode is it? The Battle Royale?
It's some like 16-player battle royale game. You basically just spend 10 minutes running around collecting shit and then get shot in one and die in one hit, and that's the game. So it was lots of fun there. Love it. Loved the 10-minute match finding times. It's fun. Good job, Gabe. Ahead of the curve on this one. Anyway, yeah. So we mentioned it last week. The Red Dead Redemption online mode had a quite significant economy imbalance in that many things were vastly overpriced in compared to its single-player component, and the payouts for things were vastly underwhelming compared to the single-player component. So like weapons and selling pelts and things like that. Rockstar have said, yeah, we see your concerns, player base, and we're willing to adjust the economy for you because we're that nice. And so what they did was take the most expensive things in the game and the lowest paying things in the game and effectively neutralize them, so to bring them down to a more balanced middle ground. Ultimately, it's the only things that have changed that I can see are the Mauser pistol is now like $400 cheaper, so it's now $600 instead of $1,000. A few of the other weapons have been brought down in price as well, but the economy still kind of persists. A lot of I wrote down a lot of the prices for things like pelts and carcasses and all that, anything that you can sell. I wrote down a lot of that stuff before the balance because I was trying to find what the best stuff was to sell and farm. And I've since the balance gone back and collected a bunch of those things and sold them again, and they're selling for the same price. The only thing that I can find that has been adjusted are two of the fishes that you can buy, and they have been decreased in value. So they used to sell for $425, they now sell for $250. So they've effectively nullified a lot of the expensive things, but also made a number of other things less profitable. So I don't know what their intention here is, but it's
not good
at the moment. It's not worth doing a whole lot in it really, because the economy of the game. I mean, it's an outlaw game. You shoot people, you shoot at stuff, but there's the cost of ammo, which is not super cheap, and the cost of maintaining your weapons, which is not super cheap either. The more you use your gun, the dirtier it gets effectively, and that just means the less damage it does. So using lots of weapons and using lots of ammo basically just means you're going to have to be buying a bunch of shit later. So it's really not beneficial to shoot at anything in the game. So why would you shoot at bad guys? I mean, you would assume shooting at bad guys, you get a reward at some point eventually, but not really. You loot them, you get a couple of cents. Sometimes you can get like treasure maps and stuff from them, but that is generally not the case. So it seems like the economy is really much designed to reward you just a little bit more than you're spending. And that's only if you really pay attention to what you're doing. So the economy is still broken. Because I don't know, it's really dumb. I mean, like they God damn it, they gave out $250 and 15 gold bars to everyone who played the beta last week, and that was a nice gesture. But ultimately, it doesn't really do anything. You can't buy much with that.
Did you get yours yet?
I did, yeah. I closed the game like close the application and open it again, and I got it. They did say though that you might not get it before the 18th or something like that, though, or maybe it was the 8th.
I haven't gotten mine.
But you will get it eventually. But I don't know. It's. I mean, I know it's still very early in the life of this online component, and comparatively to GTA Online, there wasn't much to do at the beginning either. They had a couple of race modes, and they had a couple of just random kind of stupid activities Andrew called parachute jumps. Those weren't really fun or lucrative or any incentive to continue playing the game. But of course, as GTA went on, they added heists and more properties and more things to work towards and a lot more things to look into. And some people have been tearing apart the companion app and looking at different properties that you'll be able to buy, wagons that you'll be able to purchase, presumably for carrying lots of things that you can probably get robbed. I don't know. We'll see. But at the moment, there's really no incentive to actually play the game as intended, because you end up just wasting more money and resources than it's worth. And getting experience isn't super easy either. A lot of people were AFKing the game, so they would go into a race and just idle, and that was a good way of earning experience, because you could just stay in there, and the race would time out. You'd get money and experience, and then it would go into the next one, and you can just keep doing that. But they got rid of that in the most recent update as well. So
Well,
I don't
Aaron,
know.
that sounds awful.
It's not in a great place at the moment. They need to start adding like real content to it.
Can I ask you a question, Aaron?
Yeah.
Because when GTA Online first launched, I remember a lot of people complaining that there wasn't a lot of ways to make money in that game as well. Would you say it's similar to that game, or even worse when GTA Online first launched?
It's probably better. I think maybe the current landscape of the games industry makes it seem like it's worse, and the second currency doesn't help either. But there's definitely more to do in the if you remember back to the GTA Online, there really wasn't much to do in the free roam world of GTA. It basically just served as a means of driving to a lobby. Like you would drive somewhere and start a race, and then it would load you in. There's definitely
even when it first launched.
Yeah, when it first launched, yeah, I remember it being like a year or two later. They oh man, they're adding free roam content now. This will be cool. Like I can buy a house and I can do missions with my friends in the free roam lobby, and that was fun. There's definitely a lot more to do in the free roam element of Red Dead, because there's hunting and fishing and all that sort of stuff. But again, a lot of it doesn't feel like there's any reason to do it, because a lot of it doesn't pay particularly well. Fishing probably still maintains to be the most lucrative method, because you can carry multiple of them. You carry 10 each, and players can't rob them from you. Whereas if you're hunting an animal and you skin it and put it on your horse, then they can kill you and take it. So it's like you might have a really valuable item, but then somebody can just come and take it, and it kind of undercuts you a little bit. So that sort of undoes some of the incentive as well. And some of the stranger missions are cool, but again, they don't pay particularly well. Everything needs to be massively increased in profit just to make, there needs to be an incentive to do it. And currently there really isn't. So hopefully they can remedy that with some more stuff further down the road if people keep playing
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, it could just... How to word this? GTA Online has a lot of... I mean, for better or worse, it has a lot of content in it. I mean, near the end of that game's life, it got ridiculous, because, there was flying cars and submarines and, jetpacks and, whatever. But it had a lot of stuff to do in the game. By the time that game finished, there was a lot of content to do. You could probably, and not just the grinding. Obviously there's a lot of grinding, but you could probably spend, at least a couple, 100 hours or so in that game doing all the activities just for fun. The races, the missions, the heists, a lot of the game modes, owning clubs and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of interesting stuff in that game. But I think the modern LA is a setting that is indicative of a lot of different unique activities. I wonder how many unique activities you can fill Red Dead Online's world with before it starts getting a bit repetitive, or before, you know what I mean? I don't know if you can have as much diversity in a genre setting, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, and I can definitely see that. I mean, it's definitely faster to like traverse GTA, and I think that also it plays into a lot of the mechanics. Like in many ways, it can be easier to go from like one biome where there's some things to another biome where there's a bunch of other things. Whereas in Red Dead, it's kind of like you can fast travel and even just hop out and load into another area because rather than just going to straight up online, you can actually pick which state you want to load into. So that kind of cuts down on it a bit, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely a limited amount of activities, I guess, just because it is an older setting. But I mean, it is fun. I've been having fun just hanging out with random people, and meeting strangers and seeing what they're up to, and just fooling around with lassos and shooting animals and fishing and that sort of and I can see that like if you had a core group of players to play with, like once you guys hop on and play, I can see that being fun. But in terms of like actually making progress, it's like at the moment it needs retooling again.
So, last night, me and the boys hung out on Discord and watched the Game Awards.
That did happen.
Now, I'm not, like, I don't want to, like saying this is not an insult, but I don't want to, like, tout myself up as this big expert or anything, but I think it's safe to say that I probably watch more award shows, like, when it comes to, like, Oscars and stuff like that, than you guys do, right? Like, you guys probably not
Yeah.
So
super
how do
into,
these
like,
Game
Academy
Awards
Awards.
compare to the Oscars, Rory?
Truthfully, they're much better. And, like of course, we talk all kinds of shit about them because really, they could be better than they are. A lot better, in fact. Some of the stuff that was at this was whack. But I gotta say, they're a lot better than the Oscars. Like, miles better, in fact. Like, you thought there was nonsense. Like there were times in this when we were like, get to the damn award. Like, they'd be like, okay, we're gonna announce an award, and then immediately they throw up a 2.5-minute trailer.
Yeah,
And it's like that,
I mean, that
doesn't
pretty much
even
happened
compare
one time
to
where the guy, the executive from Neversoft got up and he said, and the winner for best sports game is, or here are the nominations for best sport and racing game, which I can't believe, that's
Never
a
stopped
category,
go out
but-
of business.
It's not Neversoft.
Oh, who is it then?
NetherRealm Studios is what I was
Right,
thinking of.
NeverRealm. Sorry. And anyway, they
Nether.
showed a trailer for Mortal Kombat 11 instead of the actual
Yeah, exactly.
award.
Yeah,
And
and
it was so bizarre.
They also showed the same trailer for DLC, the same twice in a row, or what? Not in a row, but twice.
yeah, the Dead by Daylight DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was pretty close to in a row. Like, that's not much of an
Yeah.
exaggeration.
It's like, yeah, we already saw this. It's like, it's like world premiere, and then they show the same trailer again.
But
Oh,
I
man,
mean,
who gives a fuck?
I like what Aaron put on this list, which was that single player really dominated. Like, there's of course awards for best ongoing game and blah blah blah, but like there was a lot of awards given out to Red Dead and
Yeah, I think they
and
won
things
4
like that.
awards.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, just by a quick sort of guesstimation, that seems
God of
correct.
War won a few as well.
Yeah, and of course, God of War wins the sort of quote unquote big one, which is the game of the year.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool to see that, and it was interesting. This reminds me. This is not off topic. This is related. Jim Sterling released a video where he talked about Just Cause, and one of the things he said that he felt,
4?
Yeah, Just Cause 4, where he said he felt the market was saturated with open world games. I would have agreed with him until recently. I started thinking it's not become sort of saturation. What's happening now is that everyone is getting an open world game. Like, now the open world games are tailored to sort of very specific groups of people. Yes, there's a lot of them, but that's sort of only a problem if you're trying to play all of them. Now we've gotten to the point where there's so much open world that you can start to be picky about what open world games you want to buy, and to me that's actually a good thing. And I think it's the same thing with single player games. Like, there's a lot of long single player games that you can invest many hours into, but you can now, you can be very picky about which ones you want to play. Do you want to play Persona? Do you want to play God of War? You want to play Red Dead? They're all very different.
Yeah, there's a lot of choice now.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I mean, speaking of, just speaking of open world, we got a couple of big announcements. Do you want to do the announcements first, or do you want to do like? Because I have something to say about the shitstorm that was this year's Game Awards.
All right, you go ahead. You fire away.
All right. Well, I'm not complaining with a lot of the results of the awards, because I mean it's kind of like the Oscars is a bit of a popularity contest, but like God of War winning Game of the Year and Red Dead taking a lot of other categories and like Celeste winning, like I don't have a problem with any of those because they're good games. Yeah. And I think they deserve what they got. My issue with the award ceremony is pretty much everything else that happened. It felt extremely fake, and it felt extremely attention grabby, which like. How to word this? There's a moment when in the show where Christoph Waltz, and I forget the actress's name who plays Lolita.
Rosa Salazar.
Yes,
it's Alita. Lolita is something else.
Little Edith.
No, don't worry about it.
When they come through, when they come out to announce, I forget what game, or no, they were announcing best esports player, I believe.
No, Joel McHale did best esports player.
Right. I forget what they were announcing, but anyway.
I don't remember either, but carry on. Yeah.
Anyway, they come out and they make a few jokes, and then they play a trailer for Alita Battle Angel.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was voice actor. They did voice actor.
Right, best voice actor, and then they showed a trailer for the new movie that they're in, and then they left. And I'm like, these two people. I mean, I don't have anything against either of these two people. In fact, I really like Christoph Waltz and everything I've seen him in. He's an excellent actor, but they have nothing to do with video games. Why are they presenting this award show? It'd be like if Todd Howard is like, and now to present best actress, Todd Howard. And it's like, Todd Howard has nothing to do with Hollywood movies. You know what I mean?
This is very much
because the producers of Alita Battle Angel paid for that.
Oh,
boom.
Shit on my
That's
asshole.
Yeah, no, you're right. But this is, I agree with Adam, and this is very reminiscent of stuff we always say when we talk about E3. Every year we talk about E3, and there's celebrities and whatnot, and it's like this is the one group of people you don't need celebrities for. Like, we're here for the content. Right, you know what I mean? Like we're here for the games, and I agree. And although I think that's very
the games are the celebrities, really. Yeah,
exactly. And although I think that's really symptomatic of award shows in general, I think that they could be better. Like I don't think the fact that other awards. So I don't mean to use the fact that other award shows are worse as an excuse because it really isn't. Like these guys could do a better job. I think.
Yeah, I mean, why can't they just use voice actors and producers to present awards and shit? Like.
Exactly.
Have Laura Bailey up there or something. You don't need to fucking Christoph Waltz.
Well, you're right because in a way, like those are our celebrities, like the voice actors we know from video games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I'm pretty sure most of the people that were there and even in the stream would be way more enthralled with having like Ashley Birch come out and present an award than fucking whatever you said, Melissa Salazar, or whatever you said.
Rosa Salazar.
Same thing. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of people probably don't know who she is. Like so, Aaron included, right? And Aaron watches movies and TV and all that. Like Aaron,
Christoph Pointer, he should have just used her face instead of the CG one. Just letting you know. Anyway, continue.
Christoph vaulted her into the spotlight.
This game sucks.
I'm excited to watch this back though and see the.
I gave up on
because we can't see Aaron.
I gave up
right?
on the battle royale shit because it took 7 years to get into a match. I'm just playing casual with bots.
Right. Yeah.
Also, like they brought back Joe. Where was it? Is it Joe McHale? Is that his name?
Joel McHale. Yeah.
Like I thought,
did a lot better this time, but.
Yeah, he did, but he actually said, like, I'm surprised they had me back considering how it went the last time I was here. And I'm like, yeah
we all are.
Why is he back? Like, a lot of the guests they had Pepe from the Muppets. Like, that I love Pepe. I like him a lot. He's a funny character, especially for a Muppet who was introduced later on after the main Muppets run was done. But like, first off, you're not even getting like a main Muppet like a more recognizable Muppet like Kermit the Frog or Fozzie Bear. You're getting Pepe, who's not unknown, but he's not like the most well known. And also, why? Again, nothing against the Muppets. I love the Muppets. They're I like a lot, but it just seems like a weird mix of cultures, especially considering that he was just kind of there.
Is there a new Muppet movie coming out?
No, unfortunately.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure if you follow Muppets, you know who Pepe is, but like, I didn't know who it was. I think it's safe to say Aaron didn't know who it was.
I knew who it was. I
I'm
just
pretty
didn't
sure
get
I've seen
the
him
relevance.
before. I didn't know the name. Yeah, I also didn't know why he was there.
Yeah, he's felt like a very random appearance. I don't know. Maybe it was because they thought Fortnite was winning some stuff, so all the Fortnite fans would know who.
Because Fortnite and Muppets are two crossing communities with a lot of crossovers.
I think you'd be surprised. I think the age groups line up pretty well generally.
Again, like not that. Again, I don't mind the fact that it was. I don't hate Christoph Waltz. I like Christoph Waltz and I like Pepe, but like, why these people? Why not people from the industry, or at least people associated with the industry? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, what if they got PewDiePie to nominate
He's a
award?
racist.
Well, he was the first guy to come to my head, but like somebody like him who's very who made his career in gaming or associated with gaming, you know what I mean? Or like just like
Day 9. Where was Day 9? The whole
Day
damn
9.
show.
Yeah.
Like
they announced a new Magic the Gathering expansion park. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's a great example actually. Yeah. There's a lot better picks, and it was it felt really weird.
I don't actually think PewDiePie is racist. I'm just saying.
No, I knew you were making.
Well, I
a
mean,
joke,
he there's a bit of taint with his name now, but like at the same, like Markiplier, they could have gotten Markiplier. I can there's a bunch of people I can think of, like YouTubers,
I'm surprised they had
Twitchers.
Jacksepticeye.
Yes, yeah, me too.
Because him and Markiplier are just ending a big drama thing with their clothing line. There's a lot of controversy going on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shitty clothes for way too much money, basically.
Well, to be fair, that's how you make a clothing line.
Is it a clothing line, or are they just like fan shirts and stuff?
No, it's a clothing line.
Oh, okay, interesting.
All the big
influencers
or entertainers or YouTubers, whatever, they all have their own clothing line. That's how you get really rich.
Yes.
Yeah, their clothing
YouTube is only to get you
Cloak.
to a point where you can open a clothing line, and then that's the rest of your money.
I mean, you're joking, but Bernie said in an interview once, Bernie Burns of Rooster Teeth, that like a lot of the money that they made, especially early on, during the early days of Red vs. Blue, was through like merchandise sales. And they said we were very fortunate that we procured, or not, like we were very, we were. The way we went about is we procured our own storefront and our own, like manufacturing center, so that like we didn't have to go to a third-party manufacturer or like a third-party holder, like Graphic Tees or ThinkGeek or whatever, in order to get our shirts out there, because people buy them directly off of our site, and it gave us a lot of money and revenue. And I mean, there's something to be said for selling shirts and stuff, man.
There is. Although I would say that the times have changed probably in terms of like how much of the revenue is like. It's probably the reverse now.
Yes.
You start off like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Manipulating your audience into spending way more than they need to on your clothing.
Now, one more thing before we get into the announcements, at least that I have.
Fire away.
There was the structure of the show was really weird as well, where there was the pre-show, and they were announcing stuff they were like announcing, like I don't mind like them announcing like trailers and stuff, or like premieres of games in the pre-show, but during the pre-show they had awards for like they had best action game in the pre-show.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
no, that's a great point. Yeah, that was super weird.
That's a big title, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. I didn't understand why that. I just didn't understand that at all.
This is the worst game. I mean, I've never really liked the Game Awards, but this is because they've always felt kind of fake to me. Same as how like I go into E3 with like a bit of cringe because it feels very fake and corporate to me. But this is definitely, in my opinion at least, the worst year for this.
What won the best action game after? What was it?
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter World.
No, that was
Monster
Best
Hunter
RPG.
World. No, that was best
Right,
RPG. Yeah. Sorry, I thought it made sense for a second.
I'll look that
no.
up right now. But we should probably talk about some of the announcements because we got a few cool looking. There was a few cool things announced that we've kind of alluded to.
That Monster Hunter
Yeah.
is apparently an RPG. Anyway, go ahead.
So the Far Cry, this new Far Cry
You're not
thing.
saying it right, Rory.
I'm not
right.
reading that.
Oh, fuck I. Fuck I 5.
It's a $50. You can get it for $50. So it's like I guess it's kind of like a standalone thing.
It's standalone, yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the whole map?
God of War won that best action adventure game.
Yeah, you're right. It did, and that makes sense. I think. So I mean, we all saw the trailer for this Far Cry thing. I have a really mixed experience.
Is New Dawn the whole map?
Yeah, so
know
it's Hope County, same map in Far Cry 5, but it's
I paid $60
Mad
for
Max.
yeah. Well, this has changed significantly because it's after going through a series of, well, it went through the apocalypse. So, in the interviews that they did after the show, by the sounds of it, the map is fairly different. It's the same location technically, but it's it looks a lot different than it did in Far Cry 5.
Yeah, well, my point was that it's a big game, and if this is like $20, then
No, it's $49.99.
oh,
Yeah, $49.99.
Or is it $39.99?
Does it come
No,
with the season
$49.99.
pass?
What?
Does it come with the season pass?
I doubt it.
I also doubt it.
Okay.
The
Tenderi.
So I do like the looks of this. One thing that I really don't like that I saw in the gameplay after the show, or I mean earlier today, health bars over enemies and levels,
Like
What?
Destiny? Ugh.
like Destiny and other crap.
Remember
It's
when
Far
original
Cry.
Fuck I 5 had that?
Far Cry 5 did not have that.
That's what I'm saying. Remember when Fuck I had it?
Yeah.
You see, I don't know. I'm kind of a bitter old man, but like for me, I like Far Cry. I was a huge fan of Far Cry 2.
Mm-hmm.
And
Great game.
I agree. It's and I think it's better actually in hindsight in some ways. Because like there hasn't been a game really quite like that for me since Far Cry 2.
Yeah, most
truthfully.
games have had color since then.
Boo this man. Anyways, so
Shots
and
shooted.
I've played the other Far Cries. I haven't played Far Cry 5, and I didn't play Primal because I thought it looked kind of strange.
Primal's interesting. I've played Primal the least out of all of them, but it's certainly interesting. Blood Dragon's by far my favorite.
Yeah,
And
mine as
this
well.
this is another spin-off title. So I'm
Yes.
really
Is
really hopeful. It is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I don't know if it's a spin-off so much as a sequel, really, because I mean the villain of of Far Cry 5 is in this game apparently. Spoiler.
So, yeah, this is
Yeah,
like
but
the
that's what
Brotherhood of
spin-offs
Steel
are,
DLC
right?
For Fallout 3. Or they're like, oh, you didn't like the ending of the game? Well, here's more of the ending.
Yeah. Now, the one thing I will say about the because I mean Far Cry has always tried to have, except for Primal, has always had to try to have, at least since 3, really interesting kind of compelling villains. And the two villains in this trailer, they're twins. They didn't
If you
seem
complain, you're racist.
They didn't seem to do it for me. I'd
sexist.
like to see how they. I want to see how they come across in the game.
Yeah, they needed 2 women to do what Joseph Seed did.
Jesus Christ! But I hope they don't come across. Who's the bad guy in Mad Max 2? I hope they don't come across as just like kind of like a weak
Is
sauce.
that the guy with
version of
like the chrome dick piece?
him. Yes.
The naked guy? I don't remember his name. Like Hans.
You know
or
who I'm talking
something.
about, though,
Yeah.
right, Andrew?
I do. Yeah. I can't remember his name. Lord.
I hope-
Humongous.
Like do you mean
Yes.
the Road Warrior? Like you're talking about
No, no.
that movie?
No, Lord Humongous is who I'm talking about.
So yes, the Road Warrior.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So you're talking about I was wondering if talking about the
Sorry.
movie or if there was somehow a second
No, the second one.
a second if there's a second Mad Max game that I wasn't aware existed.
Oh man, that's not it. Fuck
Anyway,
off
I hope
with
he,
your
I
rage,
hope they
Mika.
come across as more kind of unique characters as opposed to just kind of carbon copy Mad Max stuff. Because the game does come across as like this is Mad Max but with more color and less desert. Which
a bit in the interviews they talked about how this game takes place after the whole desert thing, so it went through kind of like a nuclear winter,
yeah.
and then everything kind of dried out and sand got blown around, so we've got all these sand dunes and everything, and now it's a period of a lot of rain, and it's called like the super boom, I think they're calling it. So we're seeing a lot of new plant life growing, and that's why everything is very colorful now.
That doesn't really make any sense, but I'll go with it.
They're rationalizing it at least a
Fuck
little
I
bit.
am.
I don't know if it makes any sense scientifically, but
It doesn't, but I can appreciate what they're doing.
yeah.
Um,
And I mean, it looks better than Rage.
yes, although it does look kind of similar to Rage, similar kind of like
fucking games, Bob.
very
There you go.
colorful post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, I'm not a
as
huge fan
oppo-
of the neon apocalypse myself, but I'll take it.
Well, I
take
mean,
it,
we got
whatever.
2 games, so I want to see what we can do, what we'll get with this, because I mean, we have 2 games. Hopefully, we'll get something good out of them. But
Yeah.
kind of speaking of open world games, apparently we're getting another
Hell
one
yeah.
from a very unlikely source. Obsidian is making.
Not
Hell
open world game.
yeah.
Is not open world?
No.
Oh,
Think
sorry.
more in terms of
not gonna play
Dishonored or Deus Ex.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna
So
play
you're
that.
gonna
Those
it's gonna
games
be
suck.
explorative. It's gonna be explorative, for sure. So yeah, this is like me and Andrew were very excited for this last night. I was talking to my dad about this today. We're both really excited about this. I can't wait. This looks like
Yeah, I'm
everything
really excited
I like.
for this game too.
And I was looking at the screenshots today.
It looks like a complete return
and-
to form for what
I don't like it not being
RPGs
open
used to
world,
be.
Yep.
but
And the dialogue in it, I saw that the dialogue doesn't use the dumbass dialogue wheel. It actually
No,
has
it's
speech
actual
checks,
RPG dialogue
and
with skill
actual
checks and everything.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
No, your player does not have a voice.
In defense of the dialogue wheel, it worked in Mass Effect because Mass Effect was largely built around that dialogue wheel. Other games adopted it less successfully because they weren't really built around it. They just, stole it.
I think in Mass Effect, I could be wrong. In my opinion, it's more important because, like, where your character's a voiced character, like, it's more important to have, like, some of, like, the almost the TV movie style of what's going on with your character as opposed to in, like, a classical RPG where, like, I find, like, having a voiced character in Fallout really takes away from the RPGing. In Mass Effect, it adds to me watching this cool science fiction thing happen.
Yes.
Right, you watch Mass Effect in a certain extent, right? It reminds me a lot of the feeling I get when I watch a science fiction show like Star Trek.
I think
Yes.
it works more in Mass Effect because you're playing as Shepard, but in
Yes, exactly.
Fallout, you're supposed to be playing as whoever you want.
Except
Yes,
you're not.
And
Now,
that's
I'm
the
not-
real difference.
I'm not trying to say that every game should have a dialogue wheel. I'm just saying that the dialogue wheel works in Mass Effect.
I
But
agree.
I'm glad to see that this game is going for a more traditional thing because I mean that's what Obsidian Obsidian is kind of like a spiritual successor to Troika games. If you
Well, I think
kind of.
well, the Tim Kaine and forget his Boyarsky, whatever his first name is, I forget it.
Sure.
They split off from whatever the studio was that made Fallout.
Interplay.
Interplay, yes. They split off from Interplay, formed Troika. A bunch of other guys split off, formed Obsidian. And Troika went through that whole process, and they closed down. But now those two guys, the original creators of Fallout, are back working with Obsidian, which is pretty much Interplay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see what they do with this games because I mean, Troika Games made some very flawed games. I mean, all of their game, like both Might and what was it?
Might and Magic.
No, not
Is that
Might
what
and
you're talking
Magic. No, Magic Arcanium. What was that?
No,
what was
no.
that?
Did you play that?
Arcanum.
Yeah.
They made Arcanum, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, and
Neverwinter. Tomb of Elemental Evil or whatever.
Yeah, it was a D&D game.
I mean, I don't know about the D&D one, but the other two games in it were pretty much broken at launch, or at least severely. It had a lot of bugs in them. But what you can't fault those games for, at least as far as I'm aware, from what I've read about reviews, because I haven't actually played either of those games, although I do want to, is their story and their world building. So that's what I'm most excited for in these games, in this new game coming up, because you got these two, people who have been in the industry for a while, who have made some of the most widely beloved narrative story and complex stories in video games. And you got them working on a new game again, so I'm excited to see what they can do with it.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
It's really a shame that Chris Avallone is no longer with the company.
Yeah, I agree.
And,
I was just thinking that. Literally just thinking that.
Who wrote Horizon? Aaron Gonzalez? I forget his first name.
Joseph? Is it Joseph?
Sure, why not? He's no longer with the company either. And those were two big writers for New Vegas. Josh Sawyer is still with Obsidian, so we got Josh and Tim Kaine and the other guy.
Galaxy
and
divided by conflict.
Chris Avallone is still Chris Avallone's doing other projects, and I'm excited for those.
Yeah,
his name was Johnny Gonzalez.
I honestly, they probably couldn't do it because I'm sure somebody has the rights somewhere they're not giving up. But it'd be cool to see if Obsidian re-releasing some of the old Troika games. Like Arcanium and
it's Arcanum.
Whatever.
I really wish that someone new would get the rights to Arcanum, because I think that's a world that was never given a proper chance.
Yeah. Well, we got some. Unless you guys want to keep talking about that game, because I think we're all excited for that game, or at least the three of us are. I'm not sure about Aaron. Are you excited?
I think Aaron's excited.
Yeah,
Aaron was a huge fan of New Vegas.
I mean, yeah, I'll probably play it and enjoy it. I don't know what it is at the moment, and apparently it's not an open world game, which I don't like that. But anyway, I will probably buy it and play it when it comes out.
So, Psychonauts 2. Did you guys play Psychonauts 1? Adam probably
finished
did.
it, but I did play it.
Never played it. No.
So
I like Tim Schafer though. He's all right.
Not a huge fan of Tim Schafer, but he's made good games.
Okay.
He's made really good games in the past.
So I like the idea of Tim Schafer games. Does that make sense? I think he's really good at making games.
Yeah.
They just don't connect with me for whatever reason. I just don't really like playing them that much. But I think he's very talented.
Tim's a funny guy. He's got a good sense of humor, but he's also kind of a piece of shit.
Why do you say that?
He's just very outspoken about a lot of things. Anyway, that's off topic.
I'm a piece of shit too, but it's neither here nor there. I don't know. I've liked some of his games. I think Costume Quest or his Costume Quest games, or the first one in particular, is probably the best Halloween game ever made. I think it really there's a certain jovialness about some of his games that just I don't know. It just captures a certain light of something that not many things have managed to do. So I enjoy it for that. And the sense of humor as well.
And the sense of humor is but I remember playing Brutal Legend and being like, this game should be perfect for me, but it just didn't hit home for whatever reason. It's it's really good. I can tell that it's good. That? Brutal Legend?
Oh yeah. No, it didn't really land with me either.
Yeah, it's and I'm like, I can tell it's good. I think my problem was I didn't go in expecting a funny metal game. I went in expecting a hack and slash game, and on that front, it's just there are better hack and slash games out there, right? They may not have the same type of personality, but the mechanics are paramount in those games.
I really like Brutal Legend, but it takes a turn a few hours in. All the main boss battles are RTS.
Oh,
really
okay.
weird.
Huh. I never got very far in it before I was like, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna play through this.
Anyway.
Oh,
I've been meaning to play through it again. Hey, Rory.
Yeah, what's up, man?
How much of a fan are you of A Dragon's Age?
So, Dragon Age. I never played much of this. I never played much of the second one.
No.
I never played much of the second one. Wasn't because I thought it was bad. I never got into it. I can't give a decent reason for you. I've still said that I'm gonna have to change this once this console generation is over. But for a very long time, my favorite looking game on consoles in this generation was Dragon Age Inquisition in terms of the art. I know it wasn't the best looking game, like graphically.
Everyone looked like Joe Swanson.
But the art, the color scheme, especially as you go between places, like the change of scenery, I thought was top level. And I think it's a terrific game, and I wish there were more games like it. And, well, I'm going to get my wish, because there's another one.
Unless it's terrible.
Unless it's awful.
Dragon Age Mobile.
No, I mean, the sort of like, sad part of this story is that we know this is going to only be available on Origin.
For PC, yeah.
And Android.
For PC. So that's like, that's kind of like, I'd rather have it on Steam. I mean, truthfully, let's face it. When a game comes out, we all hope it's on GOG, right? Like, to a certain extent, right? Because that's the thing that gives us the most freedom.
I mean, I already have all my games on there, so put it on Steam, please.
To a certain extent, I agree. But if it's on GOG, it's probably also on Steam. Like, usually it goes the other way, right? Where it'll be on Steam, but not on GOG. But truthfully, we all want, a DRM-free, nice experience that we can play on sort of whatever sort of launcher we prefer. And that's not what we're going to get here. But I hope the game is good, and I hope it takes from Inquisition in its inspiration. What do you think about Dragon Age? I know you like it also.
Oh, I love it. It's one of my favorite series, favorite franchises. Inquisition has some of the greatest character moments ever.
The characters in Inquisition really are amazing, aren't they? Yeah. And I think one of the things I like about the series, though, is if you're not a Dragon Age fan, you can go play them all right now in time for the new one. Like, Andrew went back to play all the Assassin's Creed games before, like, the second last one, and that was an ordeal. Like, I wasn't even doing it, it was you doing it, and I was like, man, like, I'm tired of these Assassin's Creed games. Like,
I don't consider it a mistake. I enjoyed my time, and it forced me to play through Unity and Syndicate, which I hadn't before, and those are great games.
Syndicate is the one that I'm really sad about having missed. Truthfully, if I was going to go back and play one because I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game since Black Flag.
Yeah.
If I was going to go back and play one, it would definitely be Syndicate. By the looks and setting, based on what I've interpreted from it. Adam's also
sort of the reason I never
pumped.
bothered with it, because it didn't appeal to me. But I will at some point go back and play those. Just because I was in the middle of doing that before Red Dead came out, and then Red Dead came out.
Yep, that'll do it. Just Cause 4 getting massacred on Steam reviews. By the way, just a quick side note.
Why?
Like, I can't tell.
Broken.
I think
it's Rocket Cows or whatever.
With this many negative, with a game that just came out and has mostly negative reviews.
Oh, yeah.
So only 67. Only 33% of the reviews are positive, so I'm guessing that something's broken.
I mean, have you read any of the reviews?
No, I haven't. I just stumbled across it while we were talking because I was looking at like Steam sales and whatnot. Because of course, this is the Game Awards, and Game Awards means big sales.
Is Assassin's Creed stuff on sale?
Actually, no, sorry, I was thinking of Far Cry.
No,
all the
Creed
Far
is.
Cries are on sale.
Yeah,
Is Assassin's Creed also?
Still.
Hey, yeah, you're right. It is. Yeah, the new one in particular is actually you can get a sale on that, which is good because the game just came out.
Yeah.
Is it like 80% off?
No, it's like 33% off.
Come on, Eve, you knew better.
But
than
most of the other titles are 50-60% off.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Syndicate is here at 60% off. likely to get it.
Yeah, I gotta get Syndicate in Unity.
Wait, Andrew, does this just launch Uplay?
Yes.
Yes.
Bloody hell! Oh my god!
If you log into Uplay and leave it like, let it save your credentials and all that, it won't open it every time you try to launch the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, I might get Syndicate. This sale is only on for like this will be. Oh, this one's actually on for longer. This one's until the 10th of December. But most of the Game Awards sales end like tomorrow.
Hey, you guys, don't you just hate Steam though? Steam is garbage.
Can be.
Yeah, terrible. If only the people that make animated dances could release.
Yeah,
store.
let's fuck Steam and get a better store. Who can we get to make it?
So
How about the people that are influential to children everywhere?
I was talking to Adam about this earlier. So Epic Games to me has been like and Adam said this as well, and I think it was a really good point. Like in some ways, Fortnite, even though it's so influential now, is like the least of what Epic Games has done for the industry. Mm-hmm. Like in terms of like making the Unreal Engine and Unreal Tournament being a milestone shooter. And things like that, like Epic Games has been so influential for a long time, and for so many years, I thought of them. I said this to Adam. I thought of them more as scientists who happen to make games sometimes than as game developers. And now that Fortnite is out, and I think they've done a great job with Fortnite, even though I can't stand what it's sort of done as a fan base. They've really changed. They've really changed what their reputation is, and I'm not looking forward to them having a store at all.
Yeah.
Anyone excited about the Epic Games Store? Anybody?
It feels like to me that what is happening in the games industry is what's happening in the online streaming service.
Yep.
Where Netflix and Steam both kind of paved the way for these types of experiences. We got a few early kind of starts as well with, the likes of Hulu and like Uplay and Origin, respectively. And now everyone's doing it. It seems like every major company has to have their own games, launcher and storefront. Like, how many games does Fortnite or does Epic Games produce that will make me want to use that over Steam, which is at least a tried and trusted service? Like what is Epic Games going to present?
It's not games they're making. It's not just games they're making. It's other games too. There's a lot of games.
Why would I go to Epic Games' store over Steam,
Yeah, good question. I have no idea.
Unless they're holding Fortnite hostage there, in which case,
Well, they are doing that.
They are doing that. Yeah, because the Epic Games are launched from the Epic Games client, and that's why not you, but people will use the stores because they already have the client open. Right? Like they have it. I have the client open because I'm doing stuff with the engine or whatever, and it's like it's clever, and I don't like it.
And, they are offering free games. I think free game every month for I don't know how long.
A free game every
use the store.
To just people who use the so what? But you gotta put something on that. Like what do you mean? Like is there a subscription service? What is using the store?
No, I think it's like I think you just have to sign up and you can. You know how Origin used to do it? It's like, hey, here's a game this month.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. And now Origin does they have their own. How do you guys feel about the EA model, like where you can get like a membership and you just have access to a certain number of games?
No.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Okay, yeah, that's yeah. But I could see this. I could see other people picking that up now. Not Steam, obviously, but
I'd like to be able to own my games so that if I stop paying you money, I still have it.
Yeah, if it was you get this on a permanent basis, then sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But as it stands now, if you cancel that subscription, you lose all your games.
Yes, you're correct. Actually, yeah. It's a weird little it's a weird thing they've got going, and I'll see. Yeah, I guess we'll see if that See what they do with their store. It's just so Adam is 100% right too, right? It's the same thing that's happening with streaming services. People aren't realizing that the point is that all of it's in the one spot.
Yeah.
Well, Activision's out. EA's out. Ubisoft has their own client, but they're not out yet. Bethesda's seemingly out.
So it's really just going to be PC indie games and AA, single A developers. You know what I mean?
Oh man,
It's going to be left on Steam.
You won a game?
Yeah.
Nice,
Damn.
dude.
That's it. I'm the greatest battle royale ever. Take
Did you
that,
dab?
PUBG. Gotta dab and do that Carlton. But that, whatever the fuck kids are at these days, flossing their anus.
Do that dance that John Oliver was doing in the YouTube Rewind video.
I didn't
God
watch
damn.
that.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
Speaking of YouTube Rewind, not to get into a super big argument, but this is like the worst.
Don't worry about it. We're done topics anyway, so you can talk about whatever you want.
Well, just very quickly, the YouTube Rewind came out yesterday as well, and I hated it. It's awful. Like
Everyone
I didn't.
hated
Real
it.
bad.
Oh man.
This is gonna make me sound like an
Never
old
would've
man
guessed that.
curmudgeon. But like, I didn't know hardly anybody, and it also like
Yeah, 'cause
I
of
went and
dog shit.
I went and compared the YouTube Rewind from 2008 to the one in 2013, which is the one I first started really paying attention to. 2018. The first one, like 2013, not only did it have more people I recognized, because I guess I was just those back then, the more mainstream YouTubers were more appealing to my interests.
There were
which
also
I don't
fewer
mind.
of them.
What?
There were also fewer of them. I think that plays a factor too, right?
Yes, yeah. And I mean, like, I won't blame YouTube for kind of moving on and bringing in for other interests to become more popular. But at the same time, there was also, it just seemed more like a celebration. Like, it was more like, hey, this is all the cool memes and stuff that happened this year. Like, we had, like, here's the best songs. So they had, like, Wrecking Ball, and they had Blurred Lines, which, I mean, you know, take or leave that song. And they had,
Kill him,
Get Lucky, and they have, you know, like, they had the Harlem Shake and What the Foxes. But at least it felt like a celebration. But this time
Sounds
around,
like
it felt more like they're
5
all.
years ago too.
It's more they're up their own ass. Like, they were up their own ass in 2013, but it just seemed less of a celebration and more like, hey, we're just super great. You know, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
No, I
understand
entirely what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. I totally get it. Yeah, it's strange. The
Maybe I just
don't
don't get
think
the mainstream YouTube culture anymore. That's probably
when
it.
I mean
They're
when
at
we
7.
we were watching the Game Awards last night, and like there was a lot of people we didn't know who were like, you know, whatever personality of the year or whatever, right? Like whatever the hell that award is.
It was Ninja, wasn't it?
It was Ninja. Sorry, it's content creator of the year. I'm recalling it now, right? And it was like, you know, I guess they all played Fortnite, right? Based on the clips that they showed,
they did,
right?
Yep.
It should have said best Fortnite content creator, right? And we were like, what is this? Like, at least with the esports thing, I can get a few of them. I'm like, oh, I know who that is, or I saw their game or whatever. But like, forget about it when it comes time to
Man,
play.
just you wait. Counter-Strike Black Zone or whatever the hell this is called is going to be the popping his
Danger
shit
Zone.
next year. And I'm going to be, all I got to do, oh, scream, oh. And now Jeff Keighley will look at this clip and I'll get Game of the Thing next year.
I know there was there's another game award I forget who's doing it. I think it's like NBC or ABC or something is doing a game award or something this year. And
the video game of the year goes to Nintendo.
It's the Gamers' Choice Awards, isn't it?
I can't remember. It's something like that. And I remember they were like best streaming moment of the year, and they brought up all these streamers, and the only one I recognized was Soviet fucking Womble, and I hope it wins, because during one stream he was playing a VR version of Counter-Strike, and he got down on his belly to go prone, and his dog came over and started ripping the headset off of him. So he gets, like, apparently over the stream, like, in the game, he just starts screaming, like, "No, get away, no!" And everyone's trying to figure out what's going on, because his dog is hauling his headset off, and he's shooting wildly into the air trying to get her to stop. It was actually really funny. But, like, everyone else on that list was just like, fuck. Like,
So
I don't know who any of these
So
people
Adam,
are.
I did some work for you. I did some research, and it's CBS that does this. And surprise, surprise, the game in the banner on the website is Fortnite. And
Wonder what's gonna win.
They do role-playing game. Hey, guess what game's in the role-playing game category again? You guessed it, Monster Hunter World. And they have almost as many categories, if not more, than the what do you call it? The Game Awards, the actual Game Awards.
Do they have like best chair used by esports player as an award? Because I don't think Jeff thought of that one.
There's only one, so there's no real category.
Best smelling esports shirt.
So, fan favorite single player gaming experience. I know I haven't told you in the nominees. What's gonna win? Fan favorite single player gaming experience.
Fortnite.
Red Dead.
No, Red Dead's not even nominated.
Oh, that's right. That's the other reason why this thing is stupid. Red Dead is hardly nominated for any of the. I don't even think Red Dead is nominated for Game of the Year.
Well, actually, it can't be, because I don't know if they have a Game of the Year, but it's nominated for fan favorite fall release. That's a separate category. I don't think there is an actual Game of the Year. There's fan favorite game, and no, Red Dead is nowhere to be found.
Is it God of War?
God of War is there, but let's face it, it's going to be Fortnite, which is also nominated. Oh man!
Again, I don't have a major problem with Fortnite. Really, it's just like the game is fine, and it certainly does a better job of what it does than PUBG does, because at least it's not broken, and it presents like it actually works. And it seems, I mean, there's obviously a reason it's so popular. But like with anything popular, the worst thing about it is the fucking fan base, man. Except for Sonic. Sonic brought that on itself.
And fan favorite gaming device as a category. So you actually get to vote for your Xbox or your PlayStation or your PC or your Switch or your mobile phone.
That makes sense.
Oh my god, fan favorite gaming convention, and BlizzCon is one of the nominees. Yeah, that's not winning. Pack it in, boys. Favorite streaming service? And Mixer is one of the nominees. We all love Mixer.
Favorite street. So it's Twitch or nothing.
Yeah, it's Twitch, right? It's Twitch. Facebook Gaming is one of the nominees. That thing we all found out existed last night. God, and MMORPG, I think it's pretty safe to say WoW is winning. Yeah, so there you go. There'll be no, it's not nominated. When is this? Gamers' Choice Awards.
I think it already happened.
Did it already happen? No, it looks like I could still vote. Hey, guys, just to let you know, in case you haven't been on the website for the Gamers' Choice Awards, it's actually the worst website ever. I'm gonna link something in the in Gen Chat for you guys, just so you can see. This is in the banner. Feel free to. I know it's a terrible picture, Aaron, but this was in the banner for
Didn't work.
For the website. So as you can see, it's a little cluttered.
Oh shit. Oh, that didn't work.
So
great job, Conception Bay, on your shitty ass Gamers Awards.
Conception.
Only Thomas will get that fucking joke.
It's actually on Sunday. And it starts at 6:30 our time. So.
Oh man, I'm not gonna watch that.
I am gonna watch that. Oh wait, is it on CBS? Oh, never mind. Oh no, it's on the website. Good.
Yeah, I saw something about this on TV not that long ago, and it was like, this looks fucking awful. Whoever they had hosting they had like a bunch of pre-show shit talking about their nominees.
Yeah.
Because 10 out of 10 marketing have like 85 episodes and lead up to your one shitty award show. But there's a bunch of stuff, and the hosts they had on were fucking
Oh,
awful.
no.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no! It looks like they're gonna have two. It's gonna be Lil Yachty performing with Kiss, I guess.
Who?
Who?
Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty's a rapper, and Kiss is gonna be there as well.
Like Kiss is in like I'm
the band. Like
I'm gonna party all night long, or I
No,
wanna
that's
rock and
Andrew
roll all
WK.
night.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
party all night long. But my happy
I don't- I
birthday
don't-
rights.
I don't know
We've
if you
got Brad
guys-
and Link from Good Mythical Morning presenting.
Oh, fuck off.
there's an actual article.
It's better than Christoph Waltz, I guess.
No, it's not.
I just looked up Lil Yachty on Google Images, and one of the articles is titled "How to Tell the Difference
Elite.
Between Lil Yachty and Lil Boat." I can't tell if that's satire or not. But
I
just
don't get
for
it. Why are there like red carpet photographs here?
There's Lil Yachty,
Yeah,
by the way.
fuck is that?
If the show isn't until Sunday.
That's
looks
Lil
like
Yachty.
that looks like if the people who made those rock candy necklaces ended up making a person.
It's the most ridiculous hairstyle I've ever seen. Why is it with all these SoundCloud rappers got to be the worst looking human beings imaginable?
Also, why does he
in
have
terms
like
of their
cut in half
fashion
M&Ms
choices?
glued onto his teeth?
I don't know. I used to make fun of Post Malone and say that his dentist is the Kingsbridge Surface Station, but I don't even know who this guy's dentist is.
He looks like he had sour Skittles glued onto his teeth. That's what it looks like.
So I'm gonna be I don't know, I'll be watching that on Sunday, and I'll be on Discord. So if you guys want to come hang out with me, you can.
Probably won't.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, can we end?
Yeah,
let's end.
that's it for our podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back. We got next week, and okay, never mind. The Game of the Year show is a while from now, so wait
bit.
for a long time till that.
Yep. Wait until next
Don't
year.
tune in next week. Just skip till then.
See you next time.
Later.